Yo, it's your boy. It's your boy. Yo, we about to get going. Yeah, we about to do this. January 2nd, 2022. Hope y'all doing well. Stay with me. Like and share. Come on in right. Hope everybody doing well. Shalom, Israel. Couple of minutes. Couple of minutes. We're gonna get going. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it big. Wow. Wow. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody is well. Get my notes pulled up. I hadn't done one like this in a while. And I thought about this one for a good week now. And wasn't gonna do it. Um, but yet here we are. Here we are. Today's show is titled Sheep's Clothing, Effeminate Spirits. I get a call last week. Someone I thought was a friend of mine over 30 years. Um, People are funny, man. Um, some people can be real, real funny. So the call was, and again, let me get a disclaimer. I wasn't going to do this one. I was going to, let it go. But other things kept being said. I'm really tired of it. Um, you can be a friend to certain people. That don't mean they're a friend to you. And the audacity of uh, of this was astounding to me. I talked to a couple of brothers and made sure I got some counsel. I want to make sure I was not flying off in the handle. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this as a teachable moment. Sheep's clothing. Some people pretend to be sheep, but they're ravaging wolves underneath that sheep's clothing. And a lot of people they're dealing with a lot of demons, their own personal demons, and I guess stuff be eating them away. So the brother calls me, and I'm naming names. Rodney Cash calls me and asks me, was I fucking his wife back in the day? I'm I'm stunned. I'm I'm like, I'm your friend, and I was your wife's friend. I was friends with them separately, and then they hooked up. I didn't hook them up; they hooked up independently. And I remember having a conversation when that happened. People got short term memories. I don't. And I remember when they hooked up. I remember having this conversation because I remember exactly where I was. I was at his mother's house because that's where he was living. I stopped by, I hollered at him, and my homegirl Sheena was there. I'm like, "Whoa, what you doing here?" She was surprised because she didn't know I knew him. And I made it a point, like, "Hey, listen, I'm friends with both of y'all. Don't wrap me up in your shit because I don't have any loyalty here." Like, I remember having that conversation. Anyway, the brother calls me, and I'm like 5 minutes away from going live. I had already scheduled my live, so I'm like really in that mindset. But I'm taking a couple of minutes because if you go back and watch the live, I started the live a little bit late, and I kind of hinted at this a little bit on that live, but um, I said, "No, man, that was my friend," and and then he proceeds to well, so and so said this, and this is what was happening. I'm just like, we're going back 30 years. Are we seriously going back 30 years right now? The brother didn't want to hear what I had to say. He already had his mind made up based on whatever conversations that he had with these clowns. And I don't even know why you called me on that. Like, it was really an effeminate spirit on him. Because men don't do stuff like this. Women move like that. They go do their little research and talk to everybody. and then come to you and then want to act like they caught you in some shit. That's what women do. Men don't do that. Man, you got a problem with me, you come to me one on one. That's biblical. That's how it's supposed to be handled. That's the step. And then if you got to go back and get witnesses, you go back and get your witnesses. If I ain't trying to hear you, I was hearing them, and I had an answer, for what was being said. He didn't want to hear what I had to say. He already had his mind made up. So then he said, yeah, whatever, whatever, whatever. You lying. Whoa. Fuck you called me for then. Because we both know if we had been face to face and you called me a liar, I would have punched you in your goddamn face. We know that. I'm not a keyboard tough guy or whatever that shit is. I don't do that. I don't play games. But we know there's a reason you made the phone call and we didn't have this conversation in person. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But it's bitch nigga shit, effeminate nigga shit. And that's what, I'm trying to like, I'm your friend. She was my friend. Well, fuck her, and then got all this kind of heat. They're divorced now, and all these. I don't know, and I'm like, man, look, I don't know about none of that. All I know is she was my friend. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen her in 20 years. I don't know. I don't know her story. I don't know what happened. I don't care. It, but being that you thrusted me into it, so he goes, oh, Nard and them said that you was used to pick her up from grits and groceries, and y'all used to ride out together. I said, well, that don't make sense because we both lived in Ruby. Why would I leave Ruby, drive to Pageland to pick her up and take her where? I could have just sat at my house and waited for her to come down Highway 9, which she had to anyway, if I wanted to hook up with her. I mean, everybody knows where my house is. It's still there. Why would I hop in my car, drive 15 miles out of the way to meet somebody, pick somebody up who has a car, who's getting ready to come drive past my house anyway? That makes no sense. Um, I this brother, I've been looking out for this brother for 30 years, and people have short term memories. They got convenient memories, um, or whatever you want to call it. So now I'm gonna put the because I don't want my reputation. I got a good reputation, Paisley. My family, the McKays, have a good reputation in Pageland, where we're from. Um, and that's the only reason I'm speaking to this. And a lot of y'all know the stories. So what I'm saying, you're gonna know is the truth because you know the story. But I'm still trying to figure out why grown ass men get together and gossip about another man and tell stories from 30 years ago. How does that conversation even start? I'm not really friends with the other dudes. Hell, I'm barely been friends with Rodney Cash lately. I could count on my hand how many times I've spoken to this man in the last 10, 20 years. Here and there, we ain't been tight. Well, I know you lying. I can tell the way you talking. Fuck you, man. You don't know shit. You don't talk to me enough to know whether I'm lying or not. What the fuck I got to lie about? Your ex-wife was gorgeous. I wish I could say I fucked her, but I can't. That would not be true, and I don't lie on my dick. The truth is, I was trying to keep y'all relationship together. So She comes to me. I think they had been together about a year at this point, maybe 2 years. And she comes to me and she go, V, I need to talk to you. I'm like, yo, what up? She's like, yo, I need you to give your boy some pointers or show him some tapes or something because I haven't had an orgasm. I haven't busted a nut. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You expect me to tell this man he ain't fucking you right? And y'all been together all of this time? How do I start that conversation? I said, no. What you need to do is you need to sit down and talk to your man and have that conversation with him. That is not something I am going to do. You need to have that conversation with him. She says, all right. And that was the end of that. Again, she was my friend. She worked at Grits and Groceries. I, of course, I'm like anybody else from Paging. I mean, most of the time we hung out at Grits and Groceries on the parking lot or at Hardee's or somewhere over there. So yeah, there are times I've been hanging out over there, and I would talk to her. She would talk to me or whatever. Of course, that was my friend. Um, but us riding out together, that's not true. Where we going? Again, we live in Ruby in the country. Why the hell will we decide to link up in the middle of Paisley, in the dead center of town? Why would we do that? That makes no sense. None whatsoever. Um, so then he said something to me, well, you weren't living in Ruby at the time. You was living in Monroe. No, the fuck I wasn't. I was living in Ruby. I was still going to college at this time. So when I would come home, I came home to Ruby. I didn't move to Monroe until May of 2000. Years later. Years later. So brother, you got your timeline screwed up. Um, and I was friends with damn near everybody he dealt with. Crystal Bush and this person, that person. I was friends with a lot of people. I was cool with a lot of people, females and dudes. Um, so, and any of y'all who knew me at that time back then can vouch for me. I would stop by, check on people, and all of that stuff. Especially when I came home for the weekends, I always checked on people. Um, that's just who I was. So anyway, it was a time where I went to Pageland, got some ice cream, like I did, cookies and cream. That was my favorite ice cream from Grits and Grocery. And I would sit in the parking lot and eat it. Because who the hell is going to drive with ice cream 15 miles? By the time I got down to back to the Ruby, my ice cream would be melted. So I would eat my ice cream there. She came out and was talking to me on her break. You happened to call her while she was sitting right next to me, talking to me. She had been trying to get in touch with you. You had just called her back. She says, where are you? And you says, oh, I'm up in Charlotte with V. And she's like, oh, word, tell that nigga I said, what's up? Conversation ended. She gets off the phone and looks at me and says, yeah, you know you in Charlotte right now. I said, huh? It's like, yeah, that was Buddy right there. He said you was with him, y'all in Charlotte. I was like, oh wow. And then later on, you get pissed off at me because you thought I snitched on you. You snitched on yourself because you tried to use me as an alibi and didn't even tell me you was using me as an alibi, and you got yourself caught out there. No biggie. And I think I even tried to clean it up. I think I was like, yeah, I think I was supposed to meet him in Charlotte. I think I said something like that. I really don't remember it this time, but I'm sure I tried to clean it up. Anyway, time goes on. Now, to put it all out there, the only women I've ever dealt with in Pageland, that was Kim Fair when I was in high school. Um, Jamala McClendon, Felicia Blakeney. Those are the women that I only women I've really ever dealt with in Pageland. Um, Anybody else I was just friends with. I was cool with them. Um, so time goes on. And then in college, I started dealing with Michelle shortly after that, my freshman year, later on in my freshman year. I bought my Mustang in 1996, in that spring of 96. Um, I had already been in college 2 years at that point. And I, and I'm trying to be careful how I say things because I want to make sure I'm not leaving things out. My son was born, Dream was born in February of 2000. At that point, I was living in Columbia. And then I moved from Columbia to Monroe in that May or June of that year. I stayed in Monroe about a year. And in August of 2001, I moved to New Jersey. And shortly after that, I began working for Radio Shack. I lost contact with Buddy and Sheena around this time. And so I stayed in Jersey a couple of years and then I ended up coming back. When I came back, I happened to run into Sheena. And I bumped into Sheena on at IHOP on Independence. She was a waitress. Hadn't seen her in a long time. She tells me almost the same story, yo. Like, yo, I need to talk to you. So, um, when she took a break, she walked me outside. I was finishing up my food, and she walked me outside. And she was like, "Yo, you won't believe this, but um, all of these years I haven't had a nut." I'm like, "Wow," but I guess you don't remember our last conversation like this. You never had the conversation, did you? No. She gets my number, or I give her my number so she could give it to him. About a week later, he calls me, "Yo, V, I need to talk to you, dog." I'm like, "All right, what's up, man? Go ahead and spit." "Nah, man, I need to see you in person." "Okay, it's like that." "Yeah, it's like that." At that time, they were living right off of Independence, near Independence and Sardis in Charlotte. I remember meeting him at Steve and Barry's, which is right there on that corner. We was in the parking lot. We talked for about an hour. I drove across town because I was living on the west side, out there by Mount Holly, Huntersville Road, and I came way from over there to meet him. So we out there talking. He telling me, "Oh, everything is good. It's like I got two wives. You know that Tanya. I think her name was Tanya. Yeah, Tanya lived with us. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I met Tanya at IHOP, and yeah, man, it's like I got two wives, man. When she ain't there, Tanya take care of me." I'm like, well, and Tyrese is doing good. That's Sheena's son. Everything is all good. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what's the problem then? He proceeds to tell me, well, dudes from back home, and I cut him off. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. You got dudes from back home telling you what's going on in your house 2 hours away? That's what you about to tell me? Nah, you need to hear the story, dog. I'm like, man, I really don't, man. Like, you shouldn't have dudes from 2 hours away telling you about your wife, man. So then he proceeds to tell me, well, I think Sheena is gay. I'm like, I ain't never known that. Um, that would be surprising to me because me and Sheena used to talk about all kind of stuff. That would be very surprising to me. She never mentioned anything or hinted or alluded at anything of that nature. Um, Very surprising. I'm like, well, is your wife bisexual? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, how you don't know? You've been with this woman almost 10 years, like at this point. How don't you know what your woman's sexuality is? That's like a first date kind of conversation. He didn't know. I said, well, what you need to do is have a conversation with your wife. And I told him exactly what to do. I said, sit down with her, ask her a question. Has she ever thought about being with a woman? And she's going to answer one of two ways. She's going to say, hell fucking no. Or she's going to think, yeah, I've thought about it. Whichever way she answers, shut the fuck up. That's what I said. Shut the fuck up. And if she is doing it now, she is getting the sense that you are a little bit more open minded than she previously thought. Maybe she'll open it up to you, include you in it or at least talk to you about it, whatever. He doesn't listen to me. He decides to listen to Leonard and them niggas from back home. They tell him to pretend like he was going to work and to come back and catch and sneak up on him. So that's what he does. And he got his feelings hurt. That's all this was about. He got his fucking feelings hurt. He calls me shortly after that, tells me what happened. And I was like, oh, you one of those kind of dudes. You're a hypocrite. Because I know you. I don't know what them other dudes know about you, but I know you've been cheating on the woman the whole fucking time anyway. I already know that. So you can't pull nothing over on me, but now you're gonna act like you're horrified because she cheated on you with this girl. I'm like, so you can dish it, but you can't take it. So some kind of way in his rabbit ass mind, he rationalized because it was a girl, she was messing with a girl that was worse than anything he had done. I'm like, whatever, man. Why don't you try to like go to counseling, try to work it? No, no, I'm getting a divorce. And that's what he did. Um, it's your business. But I thought it was very hypocritical because you were cheating on her with multiple people. And it's fucked up. I thought, but that's your life. Um, I I just remember, like I said, I really didn't have much to say to him. I talked to him very less and less, um, because he was a hypocrite. It was being real disingenuous, and again, I never spoke to her. I hadn't spoken to her since I saw her at that IHOP, and I went by the house to meet with him to talk to him. Um, I hadn't seen her in 20 years, so I don't know her version of the story. Don't know nothing. All I know is what he said. Um, But I find it funny. You got these issues in your life, and it's always the same nigga that's in your ear, Leonard. So he done put a battery in your back, caused you to divorce your wife, because he shut the fuck up and minded his business, you might still have been married to him. I don't know. But now here he go again to gonna tell you some shit about me that ain't true. 30 years later, for what? Again, I don't even know how that conversation gets started. How you sitting around and y'all get into a conversation about me, by the way, he was fucking your wife 30 years ago? Really? How does that story happen? That's bitch nigga shit. Effeminate niggas do that. Wolves in sheep's clothing. They always got to start some shit, keep shit going. Because see, my question is, if they seen me back in the day sneaking off with Sheena, right? Why did they just now? Why did they wait 30 years to tell you? What kind of friends are those? Why would they tell you right away? Then you tried to lie to me further. Talk about, well, Sheena told me some shit too. Well, if Sheena had told you something about me, why did you wait 20 years to tell me about it? Because y'all been divorced 20 years. You ain't talked to her recently, as far as I know. So why wait all of these years to pop this up out of the blue? And I don't know why she would tell you something like that, because it ain't true. I've never had sex with her of any kind. Um, so I mean, women do things. Maybe she wanted to piss you off. I don't know if that. Again, I haven't spoken to her, so I don't know. And I don't care. You're remarried, dude. Go live your life, but you just looking for somebody to be angry at because of your fuck ups. You can't check yourself and address your own shit. So you want to blame other people and you want to gossip like little bitches with these niggas and shit. Who the fuck does that, man? Men don't act like this. Men don't act like this. It's not how we act. It's not how we behave. Go to my notes, man. Matthews 7:15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravaging wolves. That's you and that's Leonard. He did it to you, then you tried to do it to me. Hey man, what's up? I just want to ask you a question. And then you hit me like you got some demons on the inside of you to ask that question. First John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Everybody ain't your friend, dog. Everybody ain't looking out for your best interest. That's them demons in you. That ain't God in you. That's them demons in you. Bearing false witnesses. And again, I don't understand the point. And your new wife should be wondering, like, why the fuck you care? That's what your new wife should be wondering. Why the fuck you care about who fuck who 30 years ago? First John 4:5. They are of the world. Therefore, speak they on the world, and the world heareth them. I don't concern myself with that foolishness. But you surrounding yourself by people, they worldly people. jailhouse niggas and shit. And that's the things they speak of because they ain't got nothing real to talk about. All the real shit that's going on in the world, and the best conversation y'all can have is about Van and who Van supposedly fucked 30 years ago. Come on, get real. And you're wrong. That's that's what's funny about it. The book of Sirach, 12 and 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So again, these dudes is coming to you like they doing you a favor. They undermining you. Cause now you fucked up. Now you ain't got a friend no more. A real friend. Because of this foolishness. The guy who been helping you the whole time. The guy who been looking out for you. Because they ain't been looking out for you. They fucked up your marriage. They put that battery in your back, caused you to blow up your whole marriage. Now they at it again. They're undermining you. In the book of Sirach 11 and 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Again, that's not what you did. You already had made up your mind before you called me. You ain't trying. You ain't want to hear what I had to say because you did that bitch shit. Right. Sound like a fucking bitch. I'm trying to talk. You want to talk over me? What the fuck you called me for then? I wasn't raising my voice. I was talking just as calmly as I am now. Like, nah, man, it ain't like that. Whatever. Yeah, I can tell you like, then all of a sudden you got to get off the phone. And it's so funny because a week before I called you and left a message for you to call me back so you could congratulate Keith on his new house. Call you and Tony. And then when you call me back with this bullshit. Come on, man. Stop. Stop the foolishness. Stop. You're effeminate, brother. You're an effeminate. And I want to be clear on what an effeminate is. Okay. Because I know it's a big word for you. Okay. Definition of effeminate: having feminine qualities, untypical of a man, not manly in appearance or manner. Your mannerisms was like a girl, man. It wasn't like a man. You acted just like a girl. You thought you tried to do the mic drop and then you want to say what you want to say and just get off the phone real quick and rush off the phone. That's what bitches do, man. Men don't do that shit. Jeremiah 5 and 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They they set a trap. They catch men. That's what this nigga been doing to you, dog. And you too stupid to realize that he doing it again to you. It's always that he said, she said shit. Because if he was your friend, why would he even say it? What fucking difference does it make at this point? Let's say it was true. Why now? You're remarried. It's 30 years later. Why now? Who benefits from that? But see, you've thrown me under the bus before, and I kind of let it go, which is why I'm not letting it go now. The first time was with the car situation. You had that Sunfire, and that piece of shit Sunfire that you bought at a buy here, pay here place, the engine blew, and you still owed a ton of money on it. I was in Colombia at that time, working for Pulling and Ford. You called me and asked me for help. You wanted an F-150, but your credit wasn't good enough. You had no money down. You was upside down in this car that wasn't running. Luckily, at that time, we had a $10,000 rebate on the escorts because we were getting rid of them to come out with the Focus. So I was able to get you out of that Pontiac that wasn't running, that was broke down in your grandmother's driveway in the yard, and that ridiculous ass interest rate you had on that piece of shit put you in a brand new escort, brand fucking new, and kept your payments damn near exactly what they were on the Sunfire. Anybody who knows how cars work, you are upside down. The only way you get out of that is if you got some money to get out of it. I worked a miracle to get your ass out of that car. I didn't make any money on that. I didn't make any money on you. I did that as a favor to you. I begged my boss at work to help me get this deal approved. And it took a month for me to get your fucking deal approved. But I had you riding that whole time. Right? Because see, you went back and told people, oh, Van stuck you on the car. I did something fucked up. But you ain't told the whole truth then. But I didn't say nothing. I just said, okay. But the truth is, you shit it yourself, and Van bailed you out. So you was upside down on that piece of shit Pontiac Sunfire, which they weren't even making the motherfuckers no more. Took you out of that, put you in a brand new Ford Escort, brand new, in the black one. Then, but see, you had your heart set on an F-150, so you never really was happy with it. I was just trying to make sure you had a way back and forth to work. I couldn't put you in a Ranger because the rebate wasn't big enough and you didn't have any cash money down. You already needed a cosigner. Remember? Got all that shit done. I even, out of my own pocket, paid for that tow truck to come get the other car from Pageland. I didn't make any money on the deal. And whatever little commission I was going to make, the $200 commission I was going to make for selling you that car, I had to forward that on the tow truck because my boss wasn't going to do it otherwise. It was a favor to you. So then, fast forward some years, you get tired of the escort and you stop paying on it. And I said to you, well, Nene needed a car at that time. Let me take over the payments. Low, lo and behold, to me, I didn't know you was already not paying the car. So when you gave it to me, you was like 3 or 4 payments behind already. You was just gonna let it go back. That was your plan. And so we had the car a couple of months, and then all of a sudden the repo man came and picked it up from Monroe. The only way they could have known where the car was in Monroe is because you told them. It was like fuck me again. But see, you like to tell stories. It's like a bitch. You like to tell stories to make it look like you're the victim. You didn't give a shit about that car. You was already gonna let it go back. But nobody can tell you nothing. You know everything. Just like when you bought that piece of shit trailer you bought. I told you not to. And I said, damn, do not get a variable interest rate. Because it's going to start out low and it's going to get ridiculously high. And that's exactly what you did. And that's why you ended up losing your house. But you don't listen. You listen to dumb motherfuckers who don't know shit. But the dude who already knows shit, because I had already bought a trailer in '96 and sold it when I left Orangeburg. So I knew a little something about real estate. Try to help you out again, but you don't listen. I told you to go buy a house in Monroe. You didn't listen. Now here you go again, trying to throw me under the bus for a third time. And there may be others I just can't even remember them, but that's how I remember those 3 times. Now this third time you throwing me under the bus. Then you lie about it. Because when Keith called to get in your ass about this shit, because he ain't like it. When he called to get in your ass about it, you gonna lie to him and lead him to believe that you squared shit away with me. Oh yeah, you straightened it out. Well, that's been taken care of, is what you said to him. Again, that's what bitches do. Because what the fuck does that mean? When you tell somebody, yeah, I was having a problem with V, but I straightened it out, that means you talked to me or you text me. You didn't do neither one. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar, man. And again, I wasn't gonna say nothing. But I'm tired of my character being assassinated and shit. When I'm looking out for you all of these years, I'm looking out for you with your wife. I'm looking out for you with your car situation, your house situation. Ain't nobody snitching on you. Or even with all that cheating you was doing, I wasn't in it. I just looked the other way. Even though she was my friend too, I just looked the other way. But to come at me with some they said he said bullshit, come on, dog. You too old for that, man. Too old for that shit. Way too old. But you letting this nigga undermine you. It ain't just me you having problems with now. You having problems with the other friends because don't nobody like that shit, man. Nobody like that. But see, what happened was with your marriage, when you got with Sheena, she was the prettiest girl you had ever got with. And instead of you being appreciative or grateful, you looked at it like you the man and your shit don't stink and your game increased. Lo and behold, you got a reputation back home of not being shit in bed, dog. That's your fault. That ain't my fault that you can't please your women. That's not, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's you. That's your reputation. It's known. Known. So she turned gay, that's because you wasn't satisfying her and you left that door open for a dyke or a gay girl to slip right on in there. That's you. That's you, dog. But you can't admit it. That's why you're so angry now. Because I think deep down you know that shit. But you're always looking to blame somebody. You're always looking to blame somebody. If I was you, stop talking to these goofy ass niggas and worry about your new wife. You ain't got time to be. You too grown to be talking and gossiping like little bitches about shit from 30 years ago, man. Worry about your new wife. And everything I've said is true. Everything I've said. I ain't had to exaggerate nothing. And there's other people out here, they know bits and pieces of what I'm saying is true. Always was there for you. But she was the prettiest girl, like I said, that you couldn't handle it. Because before her, what did you only dealt with a bunch of fat girls. That's who you dealt with. for the most part. If you was dealing with 10 chicks, I guarantee 8 of them was fat. And then you ain't good in bed on top of that. Like they was clowning you. They was talking about you. I told Sheena when y'all first got together, because what she wanted, because she had that baby at an early age, she was looking for somebody to rescue her and get her out of her mama's house. And I told her, I said, you need to go to college. You need to focus on going to college. That's what I told her to do. No, she wanted the easy way out, and she got with you. And you was a mama's boy. You had never lived nowhere on your own. You was still living with your mama when y'all got together, which is part of the reason why I was telling her what I told her. So you go from being a mama's boy to being a stepdaddy and a husband damn near overnight, and you wasn't ready for it. You wasn't ready for it. I'm hoping this truth make you free, man. I ain't doing it to hurt you. I'm setting the record straight, and hopefully this truth will make you free. Because that's why you're so angry. And you still angry at her. I don't know why you so angry at her 20 something damn years later, man. She did what she did. You did what you did. That's it. It's over with. Y'all both fucked up. You both made mistakes. But you don't see it that way because you don't never make no mistakes. It's always somebody else. Unbelievable. You can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit up. So am I lying now? Since you could tell when I'm lying, am I lying? Do I look like I'm playing? I'm joking? Yeah. Because there's other people gonna watch this video. There's other people on here who know me very well. And they'll tell you I ain't lying. I'm dead serious about what I'm saying. Dead serious. But be who you are, man. You're not a tough guy, man. You're not a tough guy. Don't even go that way. Don't do it. But don't be lying on me, putting shit out there about me, trying to make me look like a bad guy. And all I was doing was looking you out, time and time and time again. Them dudes ain't your friends, man. They was your friends. Even if they thought that was true, they would have never said nothing. At this point, there's no point in saying it. But you still stuck on this woman. I mean, come on, stop, man. That's all I got to say, man. And I did this because some of y'all got a feminine spirit, so y'all do this bitch shit, man. Um, you got a problem with another man? Go to that man one on one, and if that don't work, go back again with get a witness or two. Go back and then leave it alone if that don't work. But all that gossip and he said, she said, and that bitch talk, man, say that for somebody else, man. I'm not the one, man. I'm not the one. There's too much real shit going on in the world to be in a situation or creating drama over some pussy I never got. That's the most absurd shit. That's all I got, man. Like and share. Follow the